Well, hey folks. Today we got kind of a different video. Probably the first in a series of videos. This is going to be kind of me showing off some home improvement that I'm doing. Um, so what we have here is an air vent. Um, that it handles the central air. It handles the forced hot air in the house. And what I was trying to do, you didn't get to see the first part of this. I actually started this project before. Move some stuff out of the way here. I actually started this project before even starting the YouTube channel. Because for a while, let me see if I can show you this thing without a bunch of these. This is what I was dealing with. It might have actually been oriented like this or something. I don't remember. Yeah, it was probably oriented like this. You can see that this guy is just a plain vent. It doesn't have one of these bits here for the dampeners on it. So this is actually the office here that you're looking at, and if I'm not in the office, if we're not using the office, why would I want air going into here? Why would I want heat and cooling being wasted on heating this empty room? So, and it's actually worse in our guest bedroom, which is never used. So my intention was to take this bad vent here and replace it with this guy here, which has a dampener on it. The problem that I ran into was, and I suppose you'll see it after I remove what's there. Problem that I ran into is that you could see the physical like drywall was made for this size. And you can see this one's a little bit bigger than that one. You see, even though it's supposed to be, you can see what they ended up doing. Even though there's a screw hole here and here, and they ended up just drilling a bunch of holes. This wasn't even wasn't even put on well to the wall. So you can see I have some vent tape that I use, some aluminum tape to try to seal it a little bit better. But what I'm gonna try to do, and you can see actually the other problem that I run into. Let's see if it's still. Yeah, you can see. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's not, the dampener is not actually closing all the way. So I got to investigate that once I pull this off. But what I want to do, I want to pull this off, investigate that, and I'm gonna try to use this guy here, ball repair patch kit. I think this is what's having it. Some spackle. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to spackle around here to make this look a little bit nicer. Hopefully fix the issue with the dampener, put it back on, and should be good to go. Hopefully, So yeah, I guess I'm gonna go turn off the heating, turn off thermostat, and because I don't want slammed in the face with air, and then I'll switch to time lapse, and hopefully you get to see me work on this. We'll see how it goes. All right, let's see after the time lapse. Hey folks, so we're after the time lapse here, and as you can see, I removed the vent here. And I checked this. I actually have a couple extra of these. Yeah, I'm actually doing multiple rooms, and this is what we're working with here. I just wanted to check to see if this is the correct amount of. As you can see, there's still, even though it's closed right now, you can see there's still some air gap in there. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see there's some air gap in there. But I checked it on these guys, which are unopened completely, and you can, let's see if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it there. These also have the same kind of air gap to it, so I think that's just kind of how they are. They don't perfectly seal, which is a little disappointing. But it'll work for. I think I noticed I accidentally had it closed yesterday, and I noticed it was actually colder in this room. The heat's on and it's cold outside. So I think probably what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this back on, and you can see. I don't know if you can see what was here. I actually put in a piece of wood between the foundational wood or whatever that the wood is in the wall. This is kind of a gap there. Nailed it. So that gives us a screw hole to screw into right there. So what I want to do is to get this spackle close enough so that this thing's gonna cover it, but not close enough that it's gonna be over that screw hole. Unfortunately, you can see, I don't know what this material is. It's not aluminum. If it was aluminum, I actually, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I broke a drill bit on trying to drill through this thing just to get a second screw hole there. So unfortunately, we're only gonna have the one screw to hold this thing on. But you can see, I feel like I did a pretty good job with the metal tape, the foil tape, and I feel like it's gonna be pretty well sealed off. So at least it's not, I just don't want the air to be leaking in, into the wall, because that's not really gonna do much. So as long as there's some leaking, I'd rather it leak into the room than into the wall. So the plan now, as you can see, I spackled this stuff. It said apply a little bit to the back and then stick it on there. I found that I actually need to apply a decent amount more, and then I just started shoving more. It's actually, because I'm worried about if I applied enough. Maybe I should just keep dumping more and more in there. Let's try the back of the patch. Yeah. Alright, I think that's as good as it's gonna get. It's sticking there. It's covering the nails. It's covering the wood. So I think once it dries, it's gonna turn white. As you can see, this is the instructions for how long it's gonna take for it to dry. So maybe like a half hour or so. I'll come back. I'll screw this guy back on. After this stuff turns white, and then I think that ought to do it. At some point we're gonna come in here and probably paint it so that it looks a little bit better. But mainly I just wanted to cover up the the nails and the piece of wood and everything to make it look a little bit nicer, and I think it basically accomplished that. So alright, so I'll try to film again another time lapse when I go in there and I reattach it, but I feel good about this. I feel good about how it looks. I mean, it's not perfect. And that's what you learn with with any kind of home improvement project is at some point you either get to a point where you're like, it's good enough and I'm done, or you get to a point where you say, I don't have the tools necessary to complete the rest of it. Which is all, like, oftentimes, you know, I mean, I think you could see with this project, I had started off, and at a certain point I was like, oh, I need something to, like, finish filling this. You know, to like, you know, I had gotten the grate and I had done all that stuff, and then at some point I was like, oh, I need to actually get something to, like, repair part of the wall here so that it fits properly. So that's, you know, that's the two states of working on these projects, is you either get to a certain point where you're like, it's good enough, it's done, or, oops, I need to go to the home improvement store and get more stuff. And I feel like at this point, with this one at least, it's gotten to a point where I could say, this is good enough. I'm happy with how it looks. Well, not right now, it's pink, but when it turns white and you can paint over it, I think it's good. All right, well, we'll catch you after the time lapse. Folks, so like I said, I've put the vent back on here. You can see the plaster hasn't quite dried up. It's been, geez, I don't know, probably getting like an hour and a half or so. And like this thing, I showed this before, it says it should dry in about, half an hour. So, it dries a little bit slower than that. I'm looking at it now, and I'm seeing that maybe I need to do a similar thing on this side than I did on that side. So maybe I'll take it off again and peel back this tape and add some spackle to this side. Let's open this up too. Alright, folks, so I guess that'll wrap it up for today. I don't know if I'm going to record spackling on the other side. Maybe I'll add some time-lapse of that in here. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll do some more home improvement videos, so we'll see. Alright, adios.